Hey yo gamers, Nupkasob here. We are back with another video. So today we will be covering all about these controversies, but not the controversies exactly, but all these dramas uh, which was created around these Stalker 2 releases and the PC requirements. Elaborately and explain what are the new updates are just coming up from these Stalker game developers sites. So November 15th has been released that Artifacts Treasure Worth the Risk, which has released all the treasures you can collect and also use their mystical elements, which was the soul, stoneheart, and was beads, kolobok, magic cubes. These are the collectibles. The zone is full of wonders, and these are just few of the dozens of artifacts that can be found, exchanged, or looted. Whether you can seek to make a fortune or embrace the risk and rewards using them, the choice is yours. So these are extremely valuable and nearly invisible while being eradicated by the infrared spectrums. So only the luckiest and the most experienced artifact hunters got the chance to take hold of these rare treasures of gravitational anomalies. Its mechanism is still not researched properly, but the effort is notable. Tangible damping of external kinetic energy bursts. So these are the artifacts which you need to be collected as the worth of risking and get the reward. So the PC requirement is already been out, but on November 12th we received extended system requirement, which is the time of ultimate collaboration. Stalker examining the final system requirement carefully and adjust your machinery for trouble-free connections to the noosphere. So the drama of the Stalker 2 heart of Chronobell is all about these upscaling requirement that every low, medium, and high and epic settings in the game will be upscaled, and instead of that, which you will not be achieving a 60 FPS, while this was the same scenario in the Monster Hunter Wild, which you can always have to use the upscaling method, either DLSS, FSR, or Intel frame generations. So these are the technologies we need to enhance your FPS, while kind of on every Unreal Engine 5 games is releasing now is totally unoptimized and highly demanding, while the graphics still looks the same, while the previous engines games which were released recently in 2020 to 2024. So even you can take an example of the Black Myth Wukong. It is on the Unreal Engine 5, but it's highly optimized, while these new games are not, and they have needed to be optimized. So the requirements are basically kind of a demanding one, but when it comes to a demo or first early or anything on the release date, then we will get to know what are the requirements. But these are the official requirements from the Stalker teams. So if we go to the lowest settings possible with the 1080p 30 FPS, we need Intel Core i7-7700K, which is it is released way before 2017 or 18, and AMD 1600, AMD Ryzen 5 1600X, which is released on 2017. So the lowest settings kind of like almost 6 to 7 years from now, which is requirement, while the GPUs is 1060 6GB, which was the highest CPU on the Steam survey, which was released on 2016, and the RX 580, so which is also released on 2017, and Intel Arc A750, which was released on 2020-22, because Intel was the new on the market in the graphics card, while you need to have a dual channel RAM, either 8/8 of dual channel or 16/16 of dual channel. So in the lowest settings you will have the 16 dual channel, so you will have the 8 GBs of another slot and 8 GB of the another slot, so there will be a dual. So this SSD is quite remarkable, 160 gigs of memory you need in SSD, so it's highly demanding, I can say. And the Windows obviously 10 and 11, while the 1080p 60 FPS medium settings, you will have to go to its requirement is the i7 9700K, which is it was released on 2018, but that's not a questionable, because it is the 7 core 8 core threads while Intel i7 9700K, which was released on 2018, so quite a bit of low. But when it comes to graphics, it's highly demanded. Super, which was released on 2018 to 19 in between, and RTX 4060, which is the latest card from the Nvidia, which is 2023, and RX 5700 XT, which was released on 2019, which is kind of a good graphics card, I can say, which is still holding on right now to the latest game. And a 2's RTX 2070 is quite a bit out of this market soon, because if not soon, then it's totally out of the market, because RTX 2070 does not support the DLSS 3.5 or the upcoming updates because of the frame generations. So it will be out of the market, while 5700X is still holding on. For RTX 4060 is still working. So if anybody wants to build up their PC, you should not have the 4060, but if you have, then it will be supported. I'm not recommended to buy currently a 4070 graphics card. Go for the AMD. In that prices, you will get the much more rasterizations and the raw performance. So the RAM will be the 16 gig dual channel, and SSD is obviously 160. The highest settings possible, which is the recommended one for the 1440p 60 FPS, is the i7 11th Gen 700, which was released in the 2021, which is not far away from now, and a Ryzen 7 500 5800X, which was released on 2020, which is 4 years and still holding on. Ryzen was the best release at that time. 7th 5th gen, and the graphics card is the 3070 Ti, which is kind of the 3070 Ti can hold up to 4K 30 FPS in some titles. RTX 4070, which I have currently on my laptop, but you need 12 gigs or 12 gigs 14 gigs of RAM. That's the 14 gigs of virtual RAM, which is in the PC, not on the laptop versions. So it was released on 2023, while 6800 XT from the Ryzen AMD Radeon, which was released on 2020, but still it's holding on, which is quite a bit of good. And 32 gigs of dual channel, which will be 16 gigs of one stick and 16 gigs of another stick. So that will make you the dual channel with the alternate. If you have a 4 slot, then you need to use the alternate slot in the CPU. While coming up to the epic setting is the 2160p in 6 plus 60 FPS plus. So it will be AMD Ryzen 7 7700X, which was released on 2022, that can hold up easily, and Intel i7 13700KF, which can still hold on, and Nvidia graphics is 4080 now. So there is no epic settings for the 4070 or 4070 Super. That will be totally go to the 4080, 24 gigs of VRAM. That should be the 2022 release. And the AMD, which is Radeon 7900 XTX, which was released on 2022, the same year, 4080, which is the tough competitions, I can say. And if you go for the price, I think 4080 is far more not quite a bit of expensive than 7900 XTX. Or even 4080 Super. So about the performance, AMD can hold on pretty much better, while 4080 have the more advantage on the DLSS and the frame generations. So it also needs the 32 gigs of RAM. It's quite a bit of common, because you need 32 gigs of RAM in upcoming games, because every games are coming up from the Unreal Engine 5. So there is no more Red Engine or Resident Evil engine, RE engine from the Capcom, and a few more engines which was previously but you have to use the upscaling as well. If you achieve the 60 FPS, then you have to use the upscaling method. But before that, if you are achieving less than 60 FPS, then what it does, the DLSS frame generations, is lower the resolutions, the images and all. It also lowers the input lag, and also will improve the images while keeping your resolutions low and reflecting to your screen on a current native resolution. So it is quite a bit of distortion you can see all around your frames, whether you are playing on any system. So kind of disadvantages of the Unreal Engine 5 games. So there must need to be more games optimized on the Unreal Engine 5, so that we can have at least 60 FPS, so that we can highly utilize the DLSS technology and the frame generations from the other AMD or Nvidia or the Intel. So that's it from my side. These are the requirements. You can go around and have in my description. So I'll meet you in the next video for the updates and the deals around the games. So thank you for watching. Till then, keep gaming. Nukasup out here.
Yeah, boy.